Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Eskow.
Jeff
Well,
Looking for the inside track on everything sports? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Elliot Big E Lamba.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Glad you all could be here today. We got a big show for you guys today. Lots and lots to do here on Sports World Radio. Big 2 hour show. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Lots to get to. Let's get all the particulars out of the way so we can get that out of here. We'll get Elliot in here talking with us in just a minute, and then we will get on with the show. We do the show each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central, figure it out for yourself because I'm not going to do it for you. Follow us on Facebook or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio, as well as tell a little bird in the room. Also, if you're hanging out in the show, tell a little bird, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Don't forget that this show is brought to you by Professional Recording Studio Equipment. You guys need any equipment for your blabs, microphones, anything like that, head on over to our sponsor at professionalrecordingstudioequipment.com. All right, with all the particulars out of the way, and I'm going to tell you, we got a jam-packed show this week. I'm going to tell you what's going on in just a minute, but I'm going to bring in our co-host, the co-host of Sports World Radio, the very known man himself here on Blab, Elliot Big E Lamba. What's going on, my friend?
What's happening, Jeff?
How you doing, pal?
I'm doing really good today, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome.
The rain just went away. As quick as it came is as fast as it went today. Yeah. It's kind of like living in Florida, dude.
Not quite, but you can claim it for today.
Yeah, I mean, it's not now. The sun is out and it's beautiful. I feel like I'm in Florida, man.
Right on.
So what's going on out there in your neck of the woods?
Well, you know what? Here in Florida, Bradenton, as you already know, you guys already know I live out here. For anybody that's new, that's where I live. Out here in Bradenton right now, it is 6:06 p.m. on the East Coast. That makes it 3:03 p.m. over there on the left coast.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's in the middle, figure it out.
That's right. Who really?
Right now here it's 85 degrees. It says it's partly moony. It has a moon. It doesn't have a sun.
Partly moony, huh?
Partly moony.
That's pretty impressive.
And comfortable 85 degrees. It is humid, though, because it did rain pretty much all day.
See, that's the one thing we don't have is humidity out here. That's the one thing I don't miss. I don't miss that.
I don't really have a problem with it for particular reasons, as you know.
Right.
But, it's a pretty humid day outside. You open the door, and it's like walking into a sauna right about now.
Hey, I want to thank people hanging out in our room right now over on Blab. If you're listening to us on Blab, on the blabchannel.com or on sportsworldradio.com, thank you very much. You can find us there. All our replays are on sportsworldradio.com and on Blab and also the Blab channel. And there's our Blab logo right there for the Blab channel. There's our logo right there. All right. So I want to thank Christopher for hanging out with us. I want to thank Inky for being here. I want to thank Michael for being here. Christine,
thanks,
thank you so much. Christoph is in the house. And, of course, Paul's hanging out with us as well. I know there'll be people coming on in and out throughout the whole day. Thank you guys for listening to us. And thank you for listening to the replay as well. Really quick, before we get going, we got a really big show this week. Look, I got it written down. We got a really big show today. Of course, today we're going to recap all the games that happened over the weekend.
NFL action.
Correct, on NFL action. But Tuesday, we got Greg Bell of the New Tribune coming in to talk about the Seattle Seahawks. And we're going to talk Seahawks football with Greg Bell on Tuesday.
Seahawks football.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. On Wednesday, we got John Marks, 97.5, the host of 97.5, coming in talking to us about Eagles football. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's an Eagles station out there in Philadelphia. They talk all Eagles football all the time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm sure they're going to have a lot to say.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. On Thursday, For all you Pittsburgh fans, we got Jake Klinger from PennLive.com coming on in to talk to us about the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday. Now, all these guys are coming on Blab with us, kids. They will be on camera, on Blab with us. And on Friday, we got Kevin Duffy, Patriots Mass Live over there in New England, talking Patriots football. Unfortunately, he won't be able to come on Blab, but we'll bring him on the phone. So we got a jam-packed show. We got Greg Bell, John Marks, Jacob Klinger, and Kevin Duffy coming in all week long, each day. Everybody's been confirmed already. Very big week here on Sports World Radio. All interviews will be at 6:45 Eastern, which is 3:45 out on the West. If you live in the Central Mountains and Atlantic, you know what I mean, okay? So come and check us out all week long. You guys are going to be ready for that. And if you happen to miss the show, you can check it out on the replay as well. All right, Mr. Elliott, what do you say we get started? Where are we going to what game are we starting with today, my friend?
Well, let's see. Today, and I'm just going to pull up the schedule here real quick. I was checking on a news story that I was considering talking about, but it has not been confirmed yet. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get the NFL schedule up. All right. So, it appears the first game on the docket is the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins.
The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins.
Absolutely.
That was a real bogus kind of a game, though.
Well, I mean, a lot of people gave Miami too much credit. To me, it looked like Buffalo got all their offensive players back all at once. Miami was a trap after the Houston and Tennessee victories.
Right.
They went in and got spanked by the Patriots. And with Tyrod Taylor coming back, I said yesterday when on the Pigskin Pick'em show, with Tyrod Taylor coming back, I did not see any way that Miami was going to win that game yesterday. There's just no two ways about it.
Okay, I'm making sure the GIF machine's working. Looks like it is. That was a surprising game on that game there. I know I picked Buffalo to win that game, but Miami did put up a tiny bit of a fight.
Well, I mean, they put up a tiny fight, but in the end, it just appears that all the hype that was spread after the first 2 weeks and all the coaching change, Dan Campbell, this, that, and the other, hey, it just turns out that the Miami Dolphins are just not that good.
Yeah, that wave is kind of
it died down.
Be done with now, huh?
That was like
wave's kind of done now, huh?
That was like here in Florida when they tell us a hurricane is coming, and then it just turns into a tropical storm by the time it gets here.
Correct.
You know
yeah, that wave is just kind of over with.
Yeah, it didn't look good. It didn't look good yesterday for them. As I said, a lot of the players came back on offense for the Bills because they were missing Sammy Watkins. They were missing Tyrod Taylor. They were missing Carlos Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those guys actually came back and were instrumental in the victory. Sammy Watkins had a career best 168 yards receiving. LaShawn McCoy had a season best 112 yards rushing. And Carlos Williams scored 2 touchdowns. So those three guys in themselves came back and basically destroyed the Miami Dolphins.
Well, we'll see. It's the Miami Dolphins. We'll see how Buffalo plays against better teams. It's the Miami Dolphins. They're in, midst of
True. And the Dolphins are actually now 0-4 against the AFC East.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
They might as well consider themselves done.
Yeah, they're not winning any division.
No, and they're sitting at 3-5 right now. So they might as well.
They're sitting at 3-5. Even if they go wild card, which is highly doubtful, you know what I'm saying? That's about
they
all
ain't going to do.
It's not going to happen because, again, once they came up against, first of all, tougher teams and second of all, division rivals, it shows that Miami's not ready for primetime.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Miami's not even close to prime time. That's why they were playing those games in London, because that's the time slot they should be in at 6:30 in the morning West Coast time, so nobody can watch them.
But nobody on the West Coast has to be subjected to such brutality, right?
Correct. Correct.
In the game, Ryan Tannehill, no TDs, no interceptions, but no TDs.
Way to go, Tannehill.
He was 27 of 36, which is not bad for 309 yards. But Tyrod Taylor was a bit more efficient, going 11 for 12, 181 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, we know Mr. Taylor likes to take off with the ball every once in a while, and so he took off 10 times for a total of 44 yards.
Wow, really?
But the damage was done in the backfield with McCoy and Carlos Williams. Between the two of them, they had 25 carries for 222 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Not to mention, as I mentioned before, Sammy Watkins came back, 8 receptions, 168 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, they just torpedoed the Dolphins is what they did.
Yeah, and his longest reception was 63 yards.
I'm sorry?
His longest reception was 63 yards.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I believe that was the touchdown.
Yeah, way to go. Way to go, Miami defense. Woohoo!
Yeah, that killer defense that shut down Houston and Tennessee.
Yeah, that's some killer defense there, ain't it? Wow.
But, yeah, they didn't really show up. Again, I think they were still blind battered and beaten from playing the Patriots.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
They're going to need more than just a week to recover from that.
Yeah, they're going to need more than that. I'm sure they were. And it ain't going to get any easier for them either.
No, it's not.
Think about that. It's not going to get any easier for them either.
No, because I mean their upcoming schedule is not a pretty one. You know, it's not. And again, they still have what they're 0-4 within the division, so they still have 2 more games in the division that they can lose.
Correct.
You know,
right?
That would make them 3-7, and then I mean, if they can find a couple of slugs like Houston or Tennessee down the road, maybe. But other than that, I just don't see them. I mean, I see Miami maybe 6-10 this year.
Right.
What do you think?
If they're lucky, they're 3-5 right now.
Yeah, I think they can win 3 more games.
Don't they still?
I just have to look at their schedule.
Yeah, I don't have their schedule in front of me. If they got to play, they still have to play each team in their division still twice, or no?
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
Because if they got to play. I know they've already played New England once, so they still got New England left, to play, and they still got the Jets yet to play, I believe.
So the remainder of their schedule is, let's go ahead and tally those wins and losses, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
At the Eagles.
Loss.
That's 3-6. Hosting the Cowboys.
Loss.
And that's Tony Romo's first game back.
Oh. I'm picking
in Miami.
I hate to say this, but I'm going to pick Miami in that game. I can't pick Dallas, so I'm hoping Miami. So I'm going to go with Miami wins that game.
Okay, so there's one of those victories I was telling you about.
Okay.
So now they're 4-6.
All right.
Then they go to the Jets.
Jets, they'll lose to the Jets.
4-7.
Okay.
And they host the Ravens.
Oh my God.
5-7.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to win. I think they're going to lose to the Ravens.
4-8. Okay. Then they host the New York Giants.
That's a loss.
4-9. Then they go play the Chargers.
That's a loss.
4-10.
Uh-huh. Hey, Terrence.
Then they play the Colts.
That's a loss.
4-11. Okay, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's 4-12. Because the last game of the season is against the Patriots.
A couple of little games they can win, though. Baltimore.
Yeah, I know. Like I told you, the Ravens is a possibility.
Baltimore, right. Correct.
They can beat the Ravens. They could beat. They could even beat. Yeah, they could beat the Cowboys.
Correct.
And who knows? I mean, depending where you're at that point.
How great would it be? Tony Romo goes into Miami, first play of the game, Sue crushes him and he's out.
Oh man!
How awesome would that be?
You know what? I think over in Bristol, Connecticut, you might hear a whole lot of crying going on.
Wah, wah. He was crying today in his milk.
Yeah, he was all over it.
Ooh.
I mean, he had a facial going on as long as he had his face in that milk. Oh, man, the love you have for that man is just
I can't
irreplaceable. Yep, I know you can't. Okay, so have we had our fill of Miami and Buffalo?
Yes, I could get off of me with this thing. Yeah.
All right, let's talk
Miami,
about
Buffalo.
the next game, which is the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers.
Oy vey.
The Carolina Panthers won that game 37-29.
I was watching. I watched that whole entire game.
Uh-huh.
And the end of that game got me a little nervous because I picked Carolina to win. And when Aaron Rodgers started moving that team in the fourth quarter, because he didn't start moving that team until the fourth quarter.
Well, I told you the week before, Andrew Luck was the same thing.
He moved that team down the field, touchdown. I was like, oh, my God, here we go. If he didn't throw that interception, they would have won the game or at least gone into overtime.
Well, it seems there's a pattern growing here.
Yeah, with him.
The Panthers defense tends to either let down or tire out in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's because they're on the field a lot. That's because Rodgers doesn't prolong the offense. Either they score quick or they're going 3 and out. So he doesn't give his time defenses to rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, Rodgers. Have some sympathy.
But I'm talking about Carolina's defense.
I know, but Carolina's defense stopped them.
Yeah, for the first 3 quarters. But then towards the end, he started coming back.
Yeah, but he stopped them at the end.
Well, at the end, they did that. As I said, there's a pattern growing here, and that is that Carolina will let you back in the game in the fourth quarter. They might still pull it out, but guess what? Living on that tightrope eventually could cost you.
As long as they won the game, I don't care. See, now next week's going to be different. Who knows if I'm going to pick them next week? Now there's only 3 teams left undefeated.
Well, let's take a look and see what happened in that game.
The Denver-Indy game?
No, in the Green Bay
Carolina game?
Yeah, from a statistical point of view.
Yeah, well, Rodgers went 25 of 48, 369, and got sacked. 4 touchdowns. Got sacked 5 times.
That doesn't surprise me. How many times did Denver sack him?
I don't remember. I'm
just saying.
But he got sacked 5 times for 4 touchdowns and 1 interception.
And with all that, they were still 1 possession from tying that game. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, you can't live on that tightrope forever.
Yeah, but Carolina's defense didn't sack Newton at all.
Carolina's defense wouldn't sack him.
I'm sorry.
Same team.
Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay's defense didn't sack Newton at all. What does that say?
Sure, they barely got to Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning can't even move.
So what does that say? You better freaking straighten up your freaking defensive line or you're in trouble.
Well, come on. At home, they gave up 503 yards to Phillip Rivers.
You better fix your defensive line or you ain't winning nothing.
Their defense is atrocious. I know this.
That's ridiculous.
And Aaron Rodgers is going to have to get used to playing from behind sometimes because this is where that team will put you.
Right. Oh, I believe.
On the other side,
they have.
Cam didn't have an efficient game, but, 15 of 30, 297, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
Okay.
The defense wasn't really that bad. They held Stewart to 66 yards on 20 carries. Newton got 9 carries for 57. He put a touchdown in. So, basically, Newton was the game for Carolina yesterday because he threw 3 and ran for 1, so...
Correct, and Green Bay also turned it over one more time than Carolina did. There was 2 turnovers for Green Bay and only 1 for Carolina. That's big in a game like that. That's big.
Well, turnovers are huge in a game like that. And again, if you think about it, 1 turnover more by Green Bay, and they lost by 1 possession.
Correct.
So if they don't turn that ball over, scenarios work out. Who knows how they're going to work out? But in a scenario where they don't turn that ball over, that could be the difference in the game as well.
There were a lot of freaking punts in that game too. Believe it or not, a lot of penalties.
Probably most from Green Bay because
Green Bay punted 8 times and Carolina punted 6. Yeah, and Green Bay 7 penalties for 87 yards, 6 penalties for 45 for Carolina. That's a lot of penalties. 13 penalties in a game.
Yeah, that is a lot of penalties. That's just like a discipline.
Correct.
That's what that is.
Who are you? The Oakland Raiders?
Hey, they teach that fundamental in Pop Warner, dude. Come on now.
A lot of penalties, man.
Okay?
Yeah.
Penalties are lack of focus.
And penalties are drive killers, man. And it happened a lot yesterday.
Absolutely.
It happened a lot yesterday.
I mean, how many times do you see a team, throw for going on a 3rd and 15, they make the first down just to get it called back for holding? I mean, it's terrible.
No,
it's terrible.
It's ridiculous.
It totally deflates a team.
Correct. 100%. Yeah, then you lose the ball on an interception or a fumble. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, no, I mean it takes away from you, and if Aaron Rodgers has to run for his life like that, I mean the man is only human, right?
And he was running for his life. Let me tell you.
And he will continue to do so if that offensive line doesn't get their collective rear end
for his life, man. Run.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, Carolina got off quick. They were accounted for 5 of the first 6 scores in the game. I mean, they were up big. And then towards the end, Green Bay tried to make it a game.
I was deciding whether or not to go take a nap, and I was like, nah, I'll just watch the rest of the game. And then I was like, oh my God, I was watching this. I'm going, oh no, come on, don't do this. Don't fall. No, come on, don't fall. Don't let Rodgers do this to you. Come on. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you were kind of struggling with that.
Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't want to see Rodgers do it. I didn't want to see him come back and win because then you would have to hear it Monday morning on a certain other show, and I just wasn't into listening to it.
No, well, I would have loved it because I picked Green Bay.
I know. I didn't. That's why I'm glad Green Bay didn't win.
I would have been glad to get on the other show, and let them have it. But that's neither here nor there now.
Correct.
All right, next game on the calendar, St. Louis Rams at the Minnesota Vikings.
Damn St. Louis, man. What's the matter, St. Louis? You can't beat teams you're supposed to beat and lose to the teams you – come on.
I seem to remember somebody went out on an island with the Vikings.
Yeah, you were the only one that picked them.
Yeah, because, again, I mean, St. Louis is just not as good on the road as they are at home. And
how many field goals were kicked in this game?
I just didn't see Minnesota losing at home to a St. Louis team. And you know what? Everybody was pinning their hopes on St. Louis because they thought that Todd Gurley was going to run all over Minnesota because their defense was injured.
He only had 89 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, he only had 89.
In the end, it was all about Adrian Peterson. He showed Todd Gurley who the real back in NFL is. Okay. 29 attempts, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Okay. So Peterson was back to his two receptions, 18 yards. Gurley, 24 carries, 89 yards. Not a great yard per carry. And had a touchdown. But again, if Gurley didn't show up, which he didn't, and the St. Louis defense doesn't show up the way they do at the Edward Jones Dome, this is the result you're going to get because Minnesota plays well at home.
There were 6 field goals kicked in this game?
Yeah, it was a field goal.
6?
6.
That's a lot of stinky field goals, man.
The kickers earned their pay yesterday.
That's a lot of stinking field goals. 6 field goals. That was made, right?
Yeah, you're right, companion. The fourth quarter was pretty scary.
For the hey, Brett.
Yeah.
Fought the Green.
Yeah, for the
game.
Panthers.
Yeah, it was very scary. 6 field goals in that
6
St.
field goals.
Louis, Minnesota. That's an offensive juggernaut game there. Let me tell you. Yeah, you got.
I mean, look at the quarterbacks: Nick Foles and Teddy Bridgewater.
But still, okay. But you have Adrian Peterson and Gurley there. At least you'll see some 6 field goals. Come on, that's disgusting.
That's either bad offense or great defense.
A combination of both.
I think it's more bad offense because, again, you got Nick Foles versus Teddy Bridgewater.
But still, you got Adrian Peterson on one side and Gurley on the other. Come on. 6 field goals.
And we saw who came out on top there.
Yeah,
right?
each of them had a touchdown, though.
So?
Gurley had Gurley's longest run was 16 yards. Peterson's was 15 yards.
Okay,
Adrian Peterson average per yard was 4.3, where Gurley's is 3.7.
exactly.
Peterson had 125 yards on 29 carries, whereas Gurley had 89 yards on 24 carries. But they both had a touchdown.
So? But who put more yards on the board and gave their team just a few more first downs?
So really,
Adrian Peterson. He outrushed them by almost 40 yards.
80. Yeah, okay, on five less carries as well. Right? Peterson had 5 more carries than Gurley.
So that's
okay. So if Gurley had those 5 carries, maybe he'd
8 more
average
yards per carry. That's what that was.
Correct. But if Gurley carried the ball 5 more times, who knows? Maybe he would have got over 100-yard mark, and he would have only been down by 25.
I do not believe that the master of the
to me it doesn't matter.
F word is actually using the if word.
No, I'm rephrasing it. I'm rephrasing it.
No, you can't rephrase it. You already said it.
To me, I'm rephrasing it. To me, it doesn't matter because they both scored a touchdown, so it doesn't stinking matter.
Yes, it does. An extra 40 yards makes a big difference. 40 yards is 40 yards. That's almost half the football field, homie. Come on now.
They both scored a touchdown.
You know what? Don't get delusional trying to make a point.
No, and I do believe Gurley is still ahead of Peterson for yards anyway.
Matter.
So it doesn't matter.
Where are they in the standings? Where are they in the standings?
That's because
Minnesota
plays on Minnesota and Gurley plays on St. Louis.
Is what?
That's because Gurley's on St. Louis.
What's St. Louis's record?
On a crappy-ass team. They're on a crappy-ass team. That's why. They suck.
Okay, so why'd you pick them if they suck?
One team sucks.
Why'd you pick them if they suck?
One team sucks because I actually thought that they would beat Minnesota.
Because I knew they
thought
sucked.
They would beat
That's
Minnesota.
Why.
One team sucks. One team's good. Okay? That's the only difference. The only offense they have is Gurley, and he scored a touchdown.
You're making my point for me.
He got
You're making my point for me.
But he did his job. He got a touchdown.
But
he did his job. The rest of it. Hold on a second.
Hold
on a second. Hold the fuck on a second. All right. He did his job.
Watch that F word, homie.
Hold on a second. He did his job. The rest of the team didn't.
And he didn't do his job as good as Adrian Peterson did his.
That's the difference. He did his job. The rest of the team didn't do
his. Wasn't good enough, but his job wasn't good enough to help them win.
But it was still a field goal.
He didn't get 100 yards.
Still a field goal.
If he's
neither team actually in my
100
eyes. Neither team in my eyes actually did their job. Because it was a field goal fest, correct? So neither team actually did their job because
actually Minnesota did their job and they fucking won.
They won. Right.
Since we're throwing the F word around, I might as well join in.
Yeah, but if you look at it, if Minnesota plays like that against, say, Patriots or anybody like that caliber, they probably lose the game. Same thing with St. Louis, correct?
No, because Minnesota's a better team than St. Louis.
You're not listening to me. I said if Minnesota played the way they played against St. Louis, against, say, the Patriots or anybody of a caliber team like that, they'd probably lose. Just like if St. Louis played the way they played against Minnesota, against any other caliber team, better than Minnesota, they'd probably lose.
No.
Correct?
Not totally correct.
I see that. I disagree with you on it. If they played the way they played against each other, against other different caliber teams that were better than those two teams, they will lose that game.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because there's another game on the schedule we're going to talk about that proves my point.
And the Rams even knocked out
There's
Bridgewater.
Another game on the schedule that will prove my point. So just bear with me, and when we get to that game, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Next game. Let's go.
All right. Next game. Oh no. Where's Gerald at? Where is he?
Where is he? Hey, he owes me $200. That son of a bitch says, go bet the freaking thing and book it and all. Go bet the what did he say?
Mr. Spread, yeah.
Bet the spread. Go bet the spread, yeah. Mr. Spread. Go bet that.
You want to win some money?
Screw you, Gerald.
Listen to me. Go bet this money on the spread.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. Yeah, you owe me $200.
He actually said that Oakland
brother.
was going to cover. And Oakland didn't cover.
I know. Correct.
Yeah.
How about that, Mr. Spread? I'll spread jam right over your face.
All I know is that Morgan put him in his place as far as spreads are concerned on our show the other day.
Yeah, you don't pick by the spread in your show.
How many people over in the well, I don't know how many of you guys hang out in the Pigskin Pick'em show, and you should be on Wednesday nights at 10:45 Eastern and Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. also in the Eastern time zone. Yeah. Gerald is just like out of his mind half the time.
He is.
You know?
He is. Yeah. He is. I can't, that's why I can't wait for Wednesday night.
Me either.
I'm going to be all up in his grill.
But
I'm going to be all up in his grill.
It's just, to me, the Washington Redskins, I bless his heart. I mean, he wants to fall on that sword. He didn't even fall on that sword this weekend.
No, because he didn't pick Washington.
No, he didn't pick his own team.
No.
No.
Exactly.
And
okay, which game are we talking about? The Raider game?
Right now?
Or the Washington?
No, we're talking about the Skins and the Patriots.
Okay.
Because in that game, interesting. I don't know if you knew this, but the Patriots were up 14-0 before the Redskins ran their second offensive play.
Really? That's good. That's a good team there. That's a good team there.
By the time they ran their second offensive play, the Patriots were up by 2 touchdowns.
Wow. See, that I didn't know. Holy cow.
That crazy?
That's a good team you got there, Mr. Gerald.
That
3-5, bringing up the rear in the NFC. Terrible.
That was atrocious, man.
Oh, wow.
Utterly. I mean,
Kirk Cousins got a 68.4 quarterback rating. Oh my God.
Is that better than Sam Bradford? Because I think Bradford's might have come up a little bit.
I don't know. I'll see. Hey, Christoph, you're listening. Remember 68.4. And when we get to Stafford, remind me that's what it was. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, the Redskins came in, they got down 14-0. At that point, New England just basically put it on cruise control. They wound up winning 27-10. And really it wasn't much of a game. Once the I look at it this way: once the national anthem began, that was the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that they possibly Washington could have won might have been the coin flip, but I don't even think they won that.
National anthem, huh?
Look, when this game was put on the schedule, Washington lost.
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. I can't. Why were they even playing against each other? Why did they put them together on the schedule? What was the meaning of the purpose to give New England a free game? The only way Washington was winning is if New England didn't show up.
It's just the logistics of the schedule. That's the way the schedule falls. They have a certain formula. I've seen it before. And the way the formula falls, that's how the matchups fall.
Because New England's playing all of the NFC.
Right. They play the East is playing the East this year.
Right. That's why. Yeah, but that's okay. Just might as well just give him a free week off. Give him another bye or something. Come on. That's ridiculous.
Well, I think they already beat up on the Cowboys, right? The Patriots?
Yeah.
And now they just beat the crap out of Washington.
Yeah, and now they got the Giants coming up this week.
Which means they have the Eagles later in the season. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Giants game ought to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be interesting.
We'll talk about that later in the week.
Yes, we will. In fact, on Friday, we're going to have Kevin Duffy of Patriots Mass Live coming on in to talk to us about Patriots football. And I can guarantee you we'll be talking about that game with him on Friday. So join us for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, here it goes. I mean, it was more than 10 minutes into the game and the score was already lopsided. New England touchdowns 2, Washington total plays from scrimmage 1.
Hey, Brett says that Kirk Cousins has a better quarterback rating than Sam Bradford.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah,
well, then he's not the worst.
Nice GIF. I can hear him laughing in the background. That's great. I love that. If I can make him laugh in the background, I'm having a blast. What's up, Robert?
So Kirk Cousins, it was Kirk Cousins going 22 for 40 and 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Once again, the Redskins running game was non-existent. 37 yards and 15 carries between Matt Jones and Alfred Morris. Where has Alfred Morris gone? That's what I want to know.
Hey, is Alfred Morris the son of Joe Morris?
I don't think so.
No? Because kind of looks like him a little bit.
Morris was small, dude.
Yeah.
Alfred Morris is a beast.
Big, I know, but he kind of looks like him.
I don't know. Well, if that's the case, he doesn't run like him. As beastly as he looks, you know. But for New England, Brady, 26 of 39, 299, 2 touchdowns.
Another day at the office for Brady. And, pretty much. Just another day at
Blunt,
the office.
29 carries for 129. Brandon LaFell, just coming back from the PUP list, 5 receptions, 102 yards.
Who New England
I was just getting ready to get to that. They suffered the loss of what was at one point their projected number 1 running back, and that's Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis suffered a torn ACL and is out for the season.
And according to an unknown source, Skip Bayless, he says that their season is over.
Their season is over? He's crazy. He's out of his mind.
He is crazy.
He's out of his mind.
He is crazy. He's the one that should be putting the bag on his
Brandon
face.
Bolden that came on yesterday didn't look too shabby, okay? And knowing the Patriots, they will go out and solve that problem.
Oh, I know why you put that GIF up there, Christoph. That's Skip Bayless in the freaking Redskin stands. I understand it now. Putting the bag on his face. I got you.
But Blunt came in. He took over after Lewis went down, and again, this kid Bolden yesterday he scored a touchdown on a pass from Brady. Mm-hmm. 3 receptions, 27 yards, and then
I would love to know what the ratings was for that game. I'd love to know what the ratings was for that game, because probably the only people watching that game were the people in New England. Not even the people in Washington were watching that game.
No, they were too busy buying and selling each other.
Yeah, they're too busy getting ready for Thanksgiving in Washington. Okay, they weren't watching no stinking football game. They're too busy. You know, they're watching the Capitals instead.
Hey, how about Pierre Garçon? Remember the other day, a story came out that he's suing the daily fantasy leagues.
Yeah, what's up with that? Yeah, somebody told us
for using his name and profiting.
For using his name, and using his likeness.
No, just using his name for profit.
And not giving. Yeah, just using his name and not paying him for it. So he's suing him.
Isn't
That's
it
pretty funny. Pierre Garçon, out of all people, Pierre Garçon? Come on, really? Out of all the NFL players, you picked Pierre Garçon?
Picked to be the one that wanted to take on the establishment of daily fantasy football.
And you didn't tell him that you were going to use his name?
They didn't tell nobody they were going to use their name. They just used it.
I know, but why do you pick? If you're not going to tell any player that you're going to use their name, why pick him?
Because he's still a football player.
Pick Tom Brady, for Christ's sakes.
In fantasy, you got to pick by positions, man. I know you don't play the game, but that's how it works.
Okay, then use Bortles for Jiminy Cricket's sake.
Actually, right now, it is Brady that you want to use.
That's what if they're not going to pay him, they're just using his name, pick somebody that's really good. Why?
Well, you know who's putting up video game numbers? Cam Newton.
Okay, so use Cam Newton then. But you see what I'm saying? That's ridiculous.
It's funny because Pierre Garçon didn't do much of anything yesterday. Maybe his career's on the decline. He needs to sue somebody to get some money.
Do you guys change your view on the Titans now? Hey, Brett, we'll get to that when we talk about that game, I promise you. In fact, I'll make him bring it up the next games so you can hear it. Make that the next game you bring up, okay, buddy? That
was actually the next one, and we'll get to that one right after the first update.
Yeah. Correct. Now, you want to go and do that update right now? You ready, pal? This update is brought to you by the Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today and never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. It's the Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Elliot Big E Lamba, with the first update of the day.
Hey, thank you very much, Jeff. Boys and girls, it's now 45 minutes past the 6 o'clock hour Eastern time on this Monday, November 9th, 2015. For Sports World Radio, I am Elliot Big E Lumba, bringing you the first SWR update of the day. First up, NFL Week 9 action from yesterday takes us to Orchard Park, where Sammy Watkins had a career best 168 yards receiving and a touchdown, and rookie running back Carlos Williams scored twice in leading the Buffalo Bills to a 33-17 win over the Miami Dolphins. In Charlotte, North Carolina, Cam Newton threw 3 touchdowns passes and ran for another score, and the Carolina Panthers took an important step toward best record in the NFC once the playoffs arrived with a 37-29 win over the Packers on Sunday. Minneapolis, Minnesota saw Adrian Peterson rush for 125 yards on 29 carries for Minnesota, helping set up Blair Walsh's 40-yard field goal in overtime that lifted the Vikings' 21-18 victory over the St. Louis Rams. In Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, Julian Edelman and LeGarrette Blount scored touchdowns before the Redskins ran their second play from scrimmage, and the New England Patriots won 27-10 to remain unbeaten at 8-0. In New Orleans, rookie Marcus Mariota returned from injury and passed for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns, including a winning 5-yard scoring pass to Anthony Fasano in overtime, and the Tennessee Titans snapped the 4-game skid with a 34-28 victory over the New Orleans Saints. In East Rutherford, New Jersey, Ryan Fitzpatrick threw 2 touchdown passes while playing with a torn ligament in his left thumb. Chris Ivory ran for 2 scores, and the New York Jets took advantage of late mistakes by the Jacksonville Jaguars and hung on to win 28-23. Down in Pittsburgh, Chris Bogswell hit an 18-yard field goal with 2 seconds left to lift the Steelers to a 38-35 win over the Oakland Raiders. In Santa Clara, California, what could be considered the upset of the day, Blaine Gabbert threw a pair of second-quarter touchdown passes to Garrett Selleck, and the undermanned San Francisco 49ers held on to beat the Atlanta Falcons 17-16. In Tampa, Eli Manning threw for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns, helping the first-place New York Giants rebound from last week's road debacle at New Orleans with a 32-18 victory over the Buccaneers. In Indianapolis yesterday, Andrew Luck threw 2 touchdown passes. Adam Vinatieri made a tie-breaking 55-yard field goal with 6:13 to play, giving Indianapolis a surprising 27-24 victory over Denver. The Colts, now 4-5, ended a 3-game losing streak and stayed atop the AFC South by ruining Peyton Manning's return to Indy once again. And in last night's game in Arlington, Texas, Sam Bradford threw a 41-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Matthews in overtime, and the Philadelphia Eagles sent the Dallas Cowboys to their longest losing streak in 26 years with a 33-27 victory in overtime. In the NBA, over in Cleveland, LeBron James scored 29 points and made several key plays down the stretch Sunday, leading the Cavaliers over the Indiana Pacers 101-97 for their sixth straight win. In New York, Kobe Bryant got the cheers, but not the victory in what might have been his last game at Madison Square Garden as the New York Knicks beat the Los Angeles Lakers 99-95. Bryant finished with 18 points, far off the 30.7 per game he had been averaging here throughout his illustrious career. In Miami, starting a 7-game homestand in style, the Heat got 23 points from Chris Bosh, 20 points and 11 rebounds from Hassan Whiteside, and pulled away after halftime to beat the Toronto Raptors 96-76. In Oklahoma City, the Thunder looked more like they usually do on Sunday night. Kevin Durant had 32 points and 11 rebounds, and Oklahoma City beat the Phoenix Suns 124-103 to snap a 3-game losing streak. Russell Westbrook had 21 points, 13 assists and 6 rebounds, and Enes Kanter added 21 points on 9 of 10 shooting for the Thunder, who forced 23 turnovers and out-rebounded Phoenix 52-33. And in Portland last night, Andre Drummond had 29 points and 27 rebounds. Reggie Jackson scored a career-high 40 points. And the Detroit Pistons rallied in the fourth quarter to beat the Portland Trailblazers 120-103 on Sunday night. Jackson had 26 points in the fourth quarter alone, and the Pistons outscored the Blazers 41-11 in the final period. And in the NHL, the Detroit Red Wings, Patrick Sharp and Tyler Seguin each had a goal and an assist to lead the Dallas Stars to a 4-1 win against the Detroit Red Wings at Joe Louis Arena. Valerie Nichushkin and Cody Eakin also scored for Dallas, who is now 12-3 after winning their third straight game. Kari Lehtinen made 21 saves for the Stars, who are off to their best start in the first 15 games of a season in franchise history. Their previous best was 10-3-2 in the 80-81 campaign. The New Jersey Devils held the Vancouver Canucks scoreless on 6 power play chances and got a shorthanded goal by Adam Henrich before a power play goal by Kyle Palmieri with 127 remaining in overtime, giving them a 4-3 victory at the Prudential Center. In New York, Tuukka Rask made 36 saves, and the Boston Bruins held on for a 2-1 victory against the New York Islanders at the Barclays Center. Ryan Spooner and Patrice Bergeron scored for Boston, which ended a 3-game losing streak and finished 1-2 on a 3-game road trip. And finally, in Chicago, rookie Artemi Panarin had 2 goals and an assist. Corey Crawford made 34 saves, and the Chicago Blackhawks beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2 at the United Center. Forward Patrick Kane had a goal and 3 assists for the Blackhawks, who improved to 7-1-1. Kane extended his NHL leading point streak to 10 games. He has 23 points, 10 of which are goals through 15 games, tying him with Tyler Seguin of the Dallas Stars for the league. Artem Anisimov also scored for Chicago, and Crawford, who had pulled in the first period of the Blackhawks 4-2 loss at the New Jersey Devils on Friday, rebounded strongly for his 7th win. This update, folks, was brought to you by the Flipper. Now, just imagine, folks, you never have to touch your toilet seat with either hand ever again. Well, that's exactly what you'll have when you get your hands on the Flipper. For more information on this must-own sanitary device and to get one of your own, visit flipperflipper.com. Once again, that's flipperflipper.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your co-host, Elliot Biggie Lumba, on the show that delivers real sports talk for real sports fans. That is SportsWorldRadio.com. That does it for me for this first update of the day. Now let's get it back over to you, Jeff, for more of Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Don't forget, Sports World Radio is sponsored by Professional Recording Studio Equipment. You guys need any equipment, head on over there and get your equipment today at professionalrecordingstudioequipment.com. Microphones, earbuds, anything you need, head on over there. They got some great stuff. All right, really quick. We were talking about the Washington game before we went to the break, and Jim asked us, will there ever be hope for the Redskins?
When Daniel Snyder sells the team.
And that's not going to happen in the near future. So, no. In fact, he's going to be holding on to that team
As a
forever.
matter of fact, I don't think it's going to happen until they change their name either.
Correct.
There's some
and that's not going to happen
karma going on
as
there.
long as he's the owner. Yeah, that's not going to happen as long as he's the owner.
So one and the same has to happen at the same time. He has to leave and the name has to change. Then the Redskins might contend again.
Will the Falcons ever rise up? Hey, we'll get to that when we talk about the Falcons.
They need to try to convert themselves from Falcons to Phoenixes, but, you know, I don't think that's going to happen because they're pretty down in the ashes right about now. After that.
Correct.
Excellent performance against Blaine Gabbert and the San Francisco 49ers. We'll get to that, though. We'll get to that.
I want to see Chris Carter on his show. I'm not mentioning the station. I'm not mentioning the channel. I'm not mentioning the show. But I'm mentioning him because I heard him say it. Chris Carter on his show when they were talking about Wayne Gabbert and the 49ers, or Blaine Gabbert. I'm sorry, Blaine Gabbert and the 49ers. He actually said on TV, on the show, Blaine Gabbert stinks. Blaine Gabbert, and he was shouting it from the mountaintop. And what did he do today? Well, guess what? Guess what, Mr. CC? It's time to eat your words.
Did you see the show this morning?
Huh?
He retracted himself. He apologized to Blaine Gabbert.
He better.
And he did a total about face.
I'm sure he did. He was probably
like, wow, I made a big mistake.
Damn right you did. Don't open up your mouth unless you can cash
Morgan,
it, man.
You know, when it comes to the Falcons, and again, we'll talk some more about that. As a matter of fact, you know what? When we get to that game, why don't you just jump in and talk with us, okay?
Correct.
When we get to the game, we'll talk about it. All right, buddy? Cool
beans.
Right. All right, so I believe I got a request, which actually wasn't a necessary request since that was the next game on the calendar. We're talking about the Tennessee Titans visiting the New Orleans Saints down in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome and actually pulling out what was a major upset and defeating the New Orleans Saints by a final of 34-28.
How does that happen?
Well, that happens because New Orleans defense sucks. Rob Ryan is a fat idiot. Let's see. Where else should I go with this? Marcus Mariota is actually a decent quarterback who can take advantage of a shitty defense. And, he threw for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Hey, how many points did the Giants score last week?
They scored 49, and now they gave up 34 to Mariota and the Titans.
That's 83 in 2 weeks.
And guess what? They scored 52, and this week they only scored 28, so that only gives them 80 in 2 games.
Correct. Right. That's ridiculous, man. And they should have
lost the Giants game anyway. But, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Giants defense stinks. They better pick it up this week against the Patriots.
Well, Tennessee was on a 6-game skid. New Orleans had just roasted the Giants defense. The math said, hey, there ain't no way. But you know what? The math didn't figure that Marcus Mariota was going to come in and play the way he did.
No. 28 of 39, 371 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Those are elite quarterback numbers.
No interceptions.
No interceptions. No interceptions. And he didn't get sacked at all. How about that? On the other hand, it's funny because Drew Brees had the identical completions and attempts, 28 of 39. He had 387 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he threw an interception.
And he got sacked 4 times.
And Tennessee shut down the New Orleans running game as well because Mark Ingram only ran 22 times for 54 yards.
Wow. There's a lot of first downs in this game, too. It was over 50. There was 55 first downs.
You can count on a lot of first downs. Didn't they have over 60 in the last game with the Giants?
Yeah.
So it's a first down fest when you go down to New Orleans.
I guess so, because there's no defense being played down there. Way to go, Ryan. That's a good defense.
Everybody down there. All the defenses plays down there like they're strolling in off the French Quarter to play the game.
Ridiculous.
Unreal is right.
How do they get away with that? Because they're all drunk.
Well, it brought up the game also brought up the argument again throughout the day. I was listening to different arguments on it, but it also brought up the argument again that, the NFL still needs to revamp the overtime system to where both teams get a possession regardless of what they score first.
I kind of agree with that.
I do too.
Agree with that. Yeah, that's the only thing in college football that they got right.
Each team gets a possession.
Everything,
no matter what the other team scores first.
Everything else. Right. Everything else about college football
I don't like
sucks.
that. Set it up on the 25-yard. Set it up on the 50-yard line and see who's going to score first.
Correct.
With 4 downs.
Right. And if they right. That's what they really need to do. Just give them at the 50-yard line and give them 4 downs. To either get a field goal or a touchdown.
That's some good overtime for college football.
Well, that's how they should do it in the NFL.
Then you won't have like 13 overtimes in one game.
That's how they should do it in the NFL. Put them on the 50-yard line. The first team gets on the 50-yard line. Boom.
Either that or just give each team one possession. Ridiculous, that means that if you score a touchdown, all you have to do is stop them from scoring one too.
Right. Or if you score a field goal, you got to stop them from scoring a touchdown. So you don't win. So you don't freaking lose. Pretty much.
And it makes for a better and more exciting game, because, the game that's coming up that we're going to talk about, the Indianapolis game, that is where the whole discussion came back up of the overtime, the way overtime is set up right now. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and move on to the next game, which was, you know what? Why don't we let Morgan pop in for this one?
Oh, God.
Visiting the New York Jets with his Jacksonville Jaguars. Didn't help.
Here comes the biggest Bortles fan in the world.
Let's go. What's up, guys? I'm gonna get on a Skype call soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Bortles because Bortles needs to be talked about, right? We gotta talk about Bortles. Bortles, he had a solid game. Of course, he did make mistakes that did lose to the loss, but Bortles is a solid quarterback. We can't hate on Bortles. He does what he does, and he's in Jacksonville. If he was on the Cowboys would be undefeated, and you know this. I'm telling you right now, Bortles is the man. He's just on Jacksonville, and it's hard to do stuff when you're on Jacksonville. So all I'm saying is that if Bortles is anywhere else, he's winning. He's winning with Jacksonville. Let's take that in consideration. He's winning this weekend by far. Get it together. Okay. Let's go.
It's a good thing it's your birthday. Otherwise, I would have just kicked you right out.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, man. Throw him up a birthday gift, man.
That's it. I mean, y'all already know. That Bortles he's good. I don't know. You guys gotta stop denying Bortles.
Come on. Really? Bortles, the insurance salesman?
Give me Bortles. Give me Johnny Football.
Oh.
Give me,
Tim Tebow?
You know what?
Nah, Tim Tebow.
Why don't you just do the trifecta while you're at it?
I want LeBron at wide receiver.
At wide receiver?
I want Greg Hardy as my defensive end.
Well, you might as well just have Stone Cold as your quarterback then if you're going to put LeBron.
Stone Cold
LeBron as your wide receiver.
What are you going to have, Greg Hardy as your domestic violence counselor?
Joe Philbin's my head coach. Trestman's my offensive coordinator.
Who? Joe Philbin is the head coach? That guy doesn't even know how to come back with his team from another country.
And Trestman as your offensive coach. Do you plan on winning any games?
And Rob Ryan's my defensive coach, and Jerry Jones is my owner.
Oh, Joe Philbin might as well have been on Friday because he got fired on his day off.
Oh my God! How ridiculous would that team be, right?
Hey, happy birthday, Morgan!
They'd be 0-16
right there in the chat box, brother.
Thank you. Of course, that would not be my team whatsoever. I still like Bortles, though. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's just on Jacksonville. So what can you really do on Jacksonville?
So why doesn't Atlanta trade Matt Ryan for Blake Bortles?
I actually tweeted them and said we need Bortles.
Oh my God, he's starting the Bortles movement to Atlanta.
If Bortles comes to Atlanta, we'll be good. Matt Ryan needs help.
Bortles goes to Atlanta. You're buying season tickets, aren't you?
Oh, I'm getting box tickets.
I think we should start the movement. Bortles to Atlanta.
Bortles to the Falcons. Let's do it.
Hey,
Bortles,
Frankie.
Trade
Bortles to
whoever.
the ATL.
Trade whoever we got to trade. I don't care. Let's get Bortles in Atlanta. Let's get rid of Matt Ryan. He's awful. Bobby Knight. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's who should be your coach, Bobby Knight. Hey, Frankie.
Okay, so Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars went into MetLife Stadium yesterday and were defeated by the New York Jets by a final of 28-23. As I had mentioned previously, Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 2 touchdown passes while playing with a torn ligament in his left thumb.
Oh,
Blake Bortles actually threw for 381 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 20-yard pass to Brian Walters with 2:16 left to keep Jacksonville in it. But Marcus Williams came up with his second interception of the game on Jacksonville's next possession as the Jets sent the 2-6 Jaguars to their 13th straight road loss.
But did y'all just hear the numbers, though, from Bortles?
Oh, God. Really?
State the numbers again.
Blake Bortles yesterday. Okay. 24 for 40.
Okay.
381 yards.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
2 touchdowns.
Yep.
2 interceptions.
But he's not winning games.
Okay. First of all,
he fumbled the ball twice, lost 1. So that's 3 turnovers.
Hey, the Jets D can be scary. All I'm saying is that he performed amazing against the Jets defense. He could have thrown it away and muffed it up and gotten less than. But you got 300 yards. Are we even ignoring
the
this?
Oakland Raiders performed great against the Jets defense. What's your point?
I'm saying that Bortles is a good quarterback, if he had a solid defense. The Jacksonville defense is not good, so it causes more pressure for him. If he had a good defense, Bortles is a good quarterback, and he's going to do his thing. 381 yards against the top defense in the league is pretty consideration. I think we need to realize that.
Oh my God!
And stop messing around.
When are you
the last couple of weeks, the top defense of the league hasn't been looking really top. So there could be an issue there as well.
Yeah, because caveman Andrew Luck, he can't even talk. I'm at the post game. I'm just gonna do better next time. Andrew Luck, get out of here. Andrew Luck makes me sick because he plays horrible when you need him, and then all of a sudden they just play amazing against the Broncos, and then he's like, "Well, I guess we did better this time." Like it just pisses me off. Andrew Luck makes me angry.
That was a good one, Morgan. I like it.
I hope next week we can continue the momentum. Get out of here, Andrew Luck. I literally hate him.
Yeah, he is kind of quasi political when he's talking, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's just really monotone.
It's like he's got something in his mouth and he's like to take it out.
He's like Shaq, very monotone.
Yes, and that drives me bonkers, man. Drives me batty. Just the same all the time. Yeah, there's no inflection. There's nothing in their voice. They speak the same. It's you got to have some inflection and all that stuff in your voice. Otherwise, you're just gonna sound like crap. Hence, Shaq does.
I mean, Shaq just doesn't know what he's talking about on the show, and that's not surprising. But
they got a lot of people on that show.
That's another story for another time. Right now, we're going to go ahead and roll on to the Oakland Raiders Pittsburgh Steelers game.
Oh my God! Really?
I don't want to talk about this game either.
Well, this is the game. This is the game that Gerald said, "Take the Raiders. They're gonna win. They're gonna win. They're gonna beat the spread." Hey, Gerald, you owe me $200, okay? I'm not listening to you no more.
Bring Gerald in here.
No more.
Where is he?
I don't know.
That's it.
Man. He's hiding. He's in hiding right now.
You could PayPal me the $200 for your stupid ass advice.
Why did you go? Why did you do that? I mean, I don't get it. You should have known.
I was 8-0. Come on, I waited long enough. It was 8-0.
I mean, at some point, you got
to bring Bortles on the show. Tell us exactly what to pick. I bet he gets the picks right.
Oh God! Look now, Bortles. All of a sudden, Bortles is a good quarter and a good picker now.
And he's a good picker. This is what I'm hearing.
Well, this is one of those games that I went on an island by myself while everybody else picked the Raiders.
You want to hear something funny about Bortles? And I know you don't watch the show because it's late for you because you're a young fella. You need to get your beauty rest. The Late Show with James Corden. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, he's from London. Okay, he's from London, England, and they replaced him with Craig Ferguson. Okay, when Jacksonville was playing Buffalo in London, he sent his parents with a camera crew to the game. And they were at the press conference interviewing your man, Blake Bortles. It's funny as hell. I bet you if you go over to YouTube and type in the Late Show with James Corden, you'll find it. It is hilarious, and you'll laugh. They invited him over to their house to have dinner, sleep over there if he needed. Yeah, it was hysterical. Right in the middle of the press conference. Asking him all these, it was hysterical. And he played along, didn't get frustrated or nothing. It was hysterical. I give him props for that. Hysterical.
Okay, so in Pittsburgh yesterday, the big news of the game was Ben Roethlisberger going down with a foot sprain.
Again.
It looks like he'll be out 1 to 2 weeks. If I had to venture a guess, probably comes back after the bye week in week 11.
Right.
Week 12 would probably be the week he comes back. So in the meantime, they're going to have Landry Jones for one game in Pittsburgh, where he played well against the Arizona Cardinals. And in Pittsburgh, that game will be against
Cleveland,
Johnny Manziel and the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, Mr. Morgan's man, Johnny Manziel, his other guy.
Another Morgan man crush.
Yeah. Johnny will be sitting in a chair at the SEC network with Tim Tebow pretty soon.
Oh my gosh. Please stop. Don't say those ridiculous things. We know that Johnny is not going to be sitting with Tim Tebow.
No, don't put the ball. Don't put the word we in there. There is no we in this conversation. It's you.
No, you guys are hating on Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, knowing good and well he's better than Tim Tebow. We know this, okay? There's no dispute. There's no debate.
But you don't have to be really good to be better than Tim Tebow.
Well, you compared Peyton Manning to Tim Tebow, so I guess you can.
I didn't. I did not.
They're just some of his passes.
Compared his throws.
Correct.
Some of his throws.
If you watch some of his throws yesterday, they go just like the Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow could throw a ball like that.
I would never compare Tim Tebow to Peyton Manning. No way. But his throws have definitely looked Tebow-ish.
Tebow-esque.
So I'm gonna go with that's Tebow. You're comparing him as Tebow, and basically he is Tebow at this point.
Yeah, Johnny's got an 84.5 quarterback rating.
You know, that's a road you really don't want to take it down. Come on now. Really?
I'm just kidding.
Really? Come on now.
Okay,
talk Morgan. About splitting hairs, man. Come on.
There you go, Morgan. You're starting a franchise and you need a quarterback, and these are your two choices: Jonathan Manziel, football, or Blake Bortles.
What city am I in?
Doesn't matter. Those are the only two quarterbacks you can pick.
You're a team owner.
Am I getting sent to London?
No, you're here in the United States. You're a team owner.
If it's London, I'm picking Bortles. It's going to be automatically Bortles because he's undefeated in London, so he obviously knows his way around. Okay, so
since we know that London is a default for you, how about anywhere in the United States?
Okay, there we go. You got to make sure. I'm going with Bortles. And the reason I go with Bortles is because of off-field issues. I don't know where Johnny is mentally, so he could do something crazy and the franchise is over. I'm going with Bortles because he is sound, and I believe that if he has the proper defense and he has good receivers, if he has a better running back, he starts winning games. And he's in Jacksonville. So, Jacksonville just doesn't, it's Jacksonville. They just don't have any credibility. But I'm saying if Bortles was anywhere else, if I'm starting a franchise, I'm picking Bortles.
The Steelers last night, I mean, yesterday the game was pretty much decided on the fact that Antonio Brown had 17 catches for 284 yards.
Who did they lose yesterday?
Oh, I already covered that. Ben Roethlisberger with a sprained foot.
No, didn't they lose another player yesterday, or was that last week?
Who?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
Jaguars. I was talking about the Jaguars. Jaguars lost a player.
No, it was Bell the week before. You're right.
That's all news. That was last week.
Right. See, I don't know why I had that stuck in my head.
And besides, he's gone for the season. Ben will be back.
Right. I don't know why I had that stuck in my head.
Don't believe the hype there.
Okay, here we go. The reason we brought Morgan in more than anything.
Oh, here
and this even supersedes the Blake Bortles thing.
Correct.
Morgan, what happened to your Falcons in San Francisco?
Yeah, okay, so I actually, on the show, I said that I wanted to choose San Francisco. I actually said this. I knew exactly when we lost it. When we lost against the Buccaneers, I knew that we were on a downward spiral. And I actually said, hey, look, I think San Francisco win this game. But I wanted to believe because Anquan Bolden was out. They also had Carlos Hyde out, and they were starting Blaine Gabbert. I was like, there is no way in the world that we lose this game. And we lost the game. Now I'm highly concerned. We're not making the playoffs. We need to get rid of Matt Ryan. And we need to go ahead and we shouldn't even be allowed to step foot into the new stadium. And the soccer team should just go ahead and call that their home stadium. And let's just go ahead and ride with the soccer team for Atlanta. That's me right now.
No, Atlanta does not look good. And I said that I know I didn't go for the 49ers because, again, the two words that dissuaded me from that was Blaine Gabbert. But, I had mentioned that Atlanta went on the road previously. Yeah, they held the Titans to 7 points, but they only scored 10 of their own.
Right.
And Devontae Freeman did nothing yesterday.
Nothing.
Right.
Zilch, nothing.
Nada.
Nothing.
Look at Christine. She goes, a win is a win. We'll take it. Go Niners, go Niners, go Niners.
Exactly.
I'm just disgusted. It's okay, though.
Obviously, Christine is a big Niners fan.
No.
Okay, so moving it right along. Let's go ahead.
Hold on really quick. Let me ask you a question. With the 49ers winning, does Kaepernick get his job back?
No.
Kaepernick's done in San Francisco. They're not going to pay him the money he's got coming over the next 2 seasons to keep him.
So they're going to trade him, right? They're going to trade him or cut him.
They need to trade him or release him. So this is what he's having. They just trade to the Falcons, and then we'll trade him for some cool stuff, and then we'll have a better team.
Cool stuff? No players, just cool stuff?
We want players, like good players.
Cool stuff. I like that, Morgan. We want cool stuff.
Kaepernick should probably go to like the Cowboys or I think the Eagles could use him, but the Eagles are actually doing fine now, so they really don't need him. So it really just comes to the point where I don't think they're going to use Kaepernick because I just don't think they like where that direction's going. So we'll see what happens there.
All right, Elliot.
They're not going to use Kaepernick. Kaepernick's done. I mean, they owe him, I think, $16 million next year and another $17 million the year after, something like that.
But it's kind of insulting. He leads you to 2 almost Super Bowls, right? And so Kaepernick to Jacksonville. Okay, well then
Falcon fans be like, you checking your Homer GIF there on the Falcon fans?
Trade Kaepernick to Jacksonville for Bortles.
Bortles to the Niners?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Is he playing though?
All of a sudden you'll become a Niners fan, won't you?
No. I'll just cheer for Bortles still.
I love that. That's great.
Oh, the CFL.
Right,
we need to talk about the soccer, guys. Let's talk about soccer.
We ain't talking about no soccer. You get kicked out of here in a heartbeat.
No soccer here.
As a matter of fact, I'm holding the kick button right now.
Shocker's going to go to CFL games.
Next game up, the New York Giants at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yay! About time. About time they got a freaking win, man.
Giants won that game 32-18.
Yeah, a little whipping. Just a minor whipping over there.
How about that last touchdown they scored?
I didn't get to watch the game. I live out here in San Diego.
They were trying to do the old Stanford play, and they threw it across the field to a lineman, and it went through the lineman's hands.
Didn't work.
And then a Giant picked it up and ran it in the end.
Just
Nice.
didn't work. Just didn't work.
I didn't see that, but I like the sound of it.
No,
I like it.
It was pretty cool. It was
So
pretty cool. But yeah.
Okay, I was
What's up?
I was watching the Giants play a couple of weeks back, and they said, I think it was week 6. Okay, I think it was week 6, and they said Eli hasn't thrown an interception all season. Since that guy said it, he's thrown one every week. Shut the hell up, will you, please?
Some people should just zip
Shut
it.
the hell up. He threw 2 more yesterday. Shut the hell up. Ever since that guy said it, boom. Pisses me off when people do that, man. Shut up. Don't mention it. Because I heard him say it, and I'm like, oh, damn it. Now that son of a bitch is going to be throwing interceptions.
Well, Eli Manning threw for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Correct. And 2 interceptions.
Josh Brown booted 4 field goals.
I'm pissed off that he had the opportunity to try 4 field goals. That means they couldn't get the ball in the end zone.
That means if they would have got the ball in the end zone on those 4 field goals, they would have scored 60 on Tampa
It
yesterday.
would have been terrible. The offense got to improve. 4 field goals? Really? Come on.
Yeah.
That he missed? He missed. Come on. That's ridiculous. Get the ball in the end zone. Really? Holy cow.
Hey, how about Mike Evans for the Tampa?
Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
What about,
Dropping he dropped 6 passes yesterday.
you know something? I bet you he gets put down to at least second or third string.
Well, with Vincent Jackson out, they can't do that.
I see that. But what else are you going to do? The guy's not catching the ball.
No, they targeted him 17 times, and he dropped it 6. 17
See, I got him. See, I'm over here. It says they targeted him 19 times. They only caught the ball 8.
Was it 19?
19 times. They only caught the ball 8 times.
Oh, they added 2 on each side.
Yeah. That's crazy.
They must have readjusted it the last time I saw it because I thought it was 6 and 17.
Yeah, it's 8 and 19. But that's terrible.
It is terrible. It's awful.
And
It's Bush League, man. Come on now.
And Adam Humphries was targeted 5 times. Oh, and guess what? He caught the ball all 5 times.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, Mike Evans, I mean, you know who his quarterback was in college, right?
No.
Johnny Manziel.
Oh, that's why he doesn't know how to catch the ball. That's why he doesn't know how to catch the ball. Because it was coming from a left hand. No, Johnny Manziel's right-handed. Yeah. He throws the ball right-handed, but it looks like it's a lefty throwing it. That's how bad Manziel is.
Oh, my
comes
God.
out spinning in the opposite direction. That's why the guy doesn't know how to catch the ball, because it's Johnny Manziel. Wow.
Yeah, he dropped the ball 6 times yesterday. He's been having the dropsies all season.
I'm telling you, if what
let me put it this way. He's pissed off a lot of fantasy football owners.
I'm sure he has. Just not fantasy owners, his own owner, too.
Oh, yeah. Beyond that, right?
Yeah, because he's dropping balls left and right. I would not be surprised if he's delegated to be second string and give some of these other guys a chance.
Well, he's no longer an RB1. A 1 as far as a wide receiver goes.
He shouldn't even be a 2.
Well, unfortunately, until Vincent Jackson comes back, they got no choice. They're missing Vincent Jackson. They're missing Austin Seferian-Jenkins, the tight end. They don't have many targets for Jameis Winston to throw to, so they got to hope that he catches the freaking ball.
Pray. I got an idea. Just run the ball. Screw it.
Who are they going to run it with? Doug Martin and Charles Sims?
Yes. Yeah, that's great. That's a good combination. Charles Sims. Sounds like a board game, like Sims. Yeah. Okay. Go build a Sim City, will you?
There you go. All right, let's get on to the last night's NBC Game of the Week.
Oh, okay. Okay. The Dallas
No,
game.
actually, you know what? No. Slow down.
Slow your roll.
The afternoon game first.
Slow your roll.
We still got one more game that was played in the afternoon. That was the game between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos.
That guy still has not won in that stadium.
No.
As an opposing.
As a matter of fact.
It's the only one.
As a matter of fact, dating back to the last game that Peyton Manning played at Lucas Oil Stadium, he's now lost 3 straight at Lucas Oil Stadium.
You know what? That stadium's jinxed him since he left, man. You built that stadium. Screw you. You leave. Screw you. You can't win here no more. That's what that stadium's saying. It don't matter who he plays in that stadium or what team he plays for or who he plays against in that stadium. Every time, he's losing.
He's 0-3 as a starter in his last 3 games at Lucas Oil Stadium.
You know what? And that's in his head, so he's done. When's the next time he's going to play there? Never. So that's going to be the only stadium that's going to have the win against him.
And he had 2 chances. He had 2 chances against Andrew Luck, and both times they were favored to win. Both times. The games kind of worked out the same way. In the first game and in yesterday's game, Indianapolis got out to a bit of a lead, and then Denver tried to come back. They made it closer this time, but still in the end, they lost.
Mm-hmm.
And Manning lost. He just can't win in that stadium because, I mean, obviously his psyche gets messed up or something. You know what I mean? He obviously knew that the last game he played there would be his last game there. So, you know, he won't win at that stadium. He won't get another chance to win at that stadium.
There's a major jinx in that stadium for him, Shocker. But it's also inside of his head, too. Knowing that, and how bad is he going to feel knowing that that's the only stadium he's never won in as an opposing quarterback?
Well, I mean, I can't say he should feel too bad because he'd only have gotten 2 chances to do it. It's not like
right. That's going to be a good question.
Career there. But you would think that going in there, knowing that was his house, and losing to his replacement, can't sit well with him.
Right. No, I agree with you. Yeah, I think, and
he might ask the NFL to intentionally schedule that game again next year, and he'll come back for 1 more year.
You think he's coming back for 1 more year? I don't think he is. I think he's done.
I don't think he should.
Oh, he's throwing the ball like Tim Tebow nowadays. I don't think he should.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
Again. I said it again, Morgan.
He shouldn't.
I agree.
Because his throws are only going to get worse.
Yes.
At some point, Tim Tebow's throws might even look better than his.
Maybe at some point they'll bring Tim Tebow back.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't think John Elway is going to make that mistake
again. Unbelievable.
Hey, you know what? Why don't they go get Drew Brees and kick Kubiak to the curb and bring Peyton with him?
Kubiak stinks, man. He's not a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator.
He's not. He sucks as a head coach.
He's an offensive coordinator. There's some great offensive and defensive coordinators, and that's what you're really, really good at. Don't try and be a head coach, please.
Now, the one interesting thing that came out of that game is the incident with Aqib Talib.
Yes.
There was a point in the game where Dwayne Allen was having sort of a shoving match with Von Miller. And from out of nowhere, Aqib Talib came across the field and stuck his 2 fingers through Dwayne's face mask and poked him right dead in the eye.
Oops.
Now, the thing is that he turned around today and said it was an accident.
How do you turn around and say it's an accident?
He said it was an accident. He did it accidentally.
Yeah, okay, sure. Who do you think you are, Mo, Larry, and Curly?
You know what I'm saying? He's claiming that it was purely an accident.
Yeah, right.
But guess what? The NFL didn't buy that garbage, and he's been suspended for a game.
Good. Yeah. Who do you think you are? One of the 3 Stooges?
So, yeah, I mean, what happened yesterday was basically Luck coming out and finally could it have something to do with the fact that they fired Pep Hamilton?
Who knows?
Only time will tell that. And they got a bye week coming up.
Got to find out
So
how
they're going to have some time to, heal up a little bit and give Andrew Luck another week of rest. But if they can come out and play the way they did against Denver the rest of the season, that division is going to be basically theirs because there's nobody else in that division that really deserves it.
Correct. Hey, Steven.
Or that would represent the division well in the playoffs anyway.
Correct.
So, that's got to be Indianapolis. I'm just hoping for the sake of quality football that, Andrew Luck is back and can put up some numbers and keep his team relevant.
Yeah, well, plus you have him on your fantasy team, don't you?
I do, but I didn't play him this week, even though he did score more points than Eli Manning.
Yeah, but I thought you had Andy Dalton.
No, I have Andy Dalton in my NFL.com league, which,
okay.
That league's not. I mean, that's for fun to me.
Yeah, I keep confusing the two leagues.
Yeah, the money league, my fantasy league, NWO.
College football is going to be better than NFL for the next few. Get the hell out of here, Shocker.
College who? What?
Just leave.
Yeah.
I've known Shocker a long time.
I've known
Shocker a long, long time.
I gathered as much.
Yeah, I've known him a long time.
I gathered as much.
He was listening to me when I first started out doing the show on another platform where we did video, which is now dead.
Oh, wow.
All right, so let's get to the final game.
Okay, the final game was last night. We all know what game that was.
Yeah, baby.
The Philadelphia Eagles traveled into the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, and defeated the Cowboys on an overtime touchdown pass. Final score in that game was Philadelphia 33, Dallas 27.
How about that? Beautiful right there.
Beautiful stuff, huh?
That's right. I watched the second half of the game. Not so much the first half, but the second half of the game. I even listened to you and KC. That was painful. Thanks, Shocker. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, he even listened to me on the airwaves when I was in KC. Yeah, so this guy follows me around wherever I go. He's my stalker.
Is he?
Yeah, he stalks me wherever I go. I love the guy. He's a great guy.
Well, I'm glad you have that all squared away there.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy.
Hate to think that you had a stalker that was dangerous.
No, he's a great guy. He's a great. I've talked to him many times on Skype. He's a great guy.
Okay, so it looks like
it was 33-27 in overtime, and that's what we were talking about earlier. They didn't even get a chance to get the ball because Philly scored a touchdown.
Right now, check it out. Let's go ahead and discuss that right after the break.
You got it. This update is brought to you by the Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today and never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. It's the Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Take it away there, Mr. Elliott, with the final update of the day.
Okay, Jeff, thank you very much. It is now 30 minutes after the hour of 7 p.m. here in the East, which obviously makes it the 4 p.m. hour in the West. For all you in the Central Mountain and Atlantic, figure it out for yourself. In this, the final update of the day, we begin tonight's NBA action. The Orlando Magic are actually playing right now against the Indiana Pacers down in Indiana. With 2:42 remaining in the first quarter, the Indiana Pacers lead 20-18. The next game on the schedule, the Chicago Bulls are visiting the Philadelphia 76ers, and with 1:38 to go in the first quarter, the Bulls lead that game 31-17. In later action in the NBA tonight, the Minnesota Timberwolves will be visiting the Atlanta Hawks. The Trailblazers visit the Denver Nuggets. San Antonio will be traveling and visiting the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. The Pistons will face the Warriors in Golden State, and the Grizzlies will take on the Clippers, and that would be in LA, and that would be at 10:30 tonight. Okay, and moving on to the NHL, there's only one game on the schedule tonight. That would be the Arizona Coyotes versus the Anaheim Ducks. That game starts at 10 o'clock later tonight on the East Coast. And in football, tonight there is actually a football game. We didn't forget. Monday Night Football pits the Chicago Bears versus the San Diego Chargers. And we'll be discussing that at length after the break. This update was brought to you by the Flipper. Now, just imagine, folks, never having to touch your toilet seat with either of your hands ever again. Well, that's exactly what you'll have when you get your hands on the Flipper. For more information on this must-own sanitary device and to get one of your own, visit flipperflipper.com. Once again, that's flipperflipper.com. Now, let's get back to the show that delivers real sports talk for real sports fans. Over to you, Jeff, for more Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escal, Big Elliot E. Lamba doing the show.
You know how to put that up.
Yeah, I know. Each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live anywhere else, figure it out for yourself right here on Blab, theblabchannel.com, and sportsworldradio.com. All right, we're talking about the final game that was last night, which is the Dallas-Philadelphia game. We're in the middle of that. Okay, that game right there, before we go any further, though, you and I were listening to something today, weren't we?
Oh, yeah. Don't do it, please.
You and I were listening to something today, right?
I'm going off camera.
What did he sing?
America the Beautiful?
It wasn't so beautiful. I'll tell you that.
Very, very beautiful.
Here.
Of course, Skip and Stephen A. will join me shortly. But now, Marine Corporal Jamarcus Winbush will sing America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
Ouch.
For purple mountains.
You sure that's not Carl Lewis?
That's it. I can't take no more. I'm done.
Oh, you should have let it go. The best was yet to come.
It's really bad. It's real. I know the best is yet to come. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The best part is right from the middle to the end.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. So let's go all the way over to the middle. There we go. Oh no, wait a second. That's too far. There we go.
I remember your reaction when you heard it.
See, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown the good with brotherhood.
Really?
From sea to shining.
Oh my God. You just killed it, my friend. It is dead.
And not in a good way either.
It is dead.
Oh my God.
What the hell? Look at Shocker. Stop, for the love of God. Shocker, that was my exact reaction when I first heard it, too. And then the son of a bitch proceeded to play it again.
I kept playing it for him.
Kept playing it for me over and over. I couldn't take it no more.
Oh my God.
So I wanted to share my pain with all of you.
When I first saw that this morning, I woke up to that crap. And first of all, the first thing that came to mind was Carl Lewis and Roseanne.
I'm telling you something right now. That guy's a rat bastard candidate of the week.
Either that or the hump, because you know what? The other candidate I have for rap bastard or hump of the week is Aqib Talib.
Okay. Yeah. No, so far we got it's only Monday and we already got 2 rap bastard candidates. Okay. And it's only
we're
Monday.
not done. There's still one more that I gotta find. I gotta get his name.
Look at Shocker. Roseanne came to mind for him.
Only thing is, he didn't grab his crotch and spit.
Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. And he's in the he's in the military? Really? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. If
he's Marine Corporal Jamarcus Winbush.
I'm telling you, Mr. Winbush, if you sing as bad as you shoot, you should not have a gun. Okay? You should be in KP.
Actually, I got a better idea. I think our country could use him as a weapon of mass destruction if he goes and sings to people overseas. Put him in concert in front of ISIS, and ISIS
Stick him right, yeah. Just sing that song right there, just that way. Unbelievable. Court martial. We're trying to lighten the mood before we get into this Dallas stuff, okay, kids?
Oh my God. Oh yeah, court martial sounds very appropriate.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous.
For him and the person who allowed him to sing.
Winbush, if you sing as bad as you shoot a gun, don't be putting a gun in that dude's hand.
No, keep him off the target range.
That's right.
Somebody could get hurt.
Put him in KP.
Yeah, there you go. Make him a chef. He can't. Well, he probably could kill people that way too.
Bust out a ladle and start singing.
Oh no. You want to see a bunch of servicemen lose their appetite in a hurry?
Exactly. So Dallas and Philly. Matt Castle, 25 of 38, 299, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not bad, huh? Mm-hmm. He didn't look like that playing though, did he?
No, but do you remember the statement that Skippy made last week?
Yes.
Before the game?
Yes.
Where he said that his guy, Matt Castle, will make one more key play than Sam Bradford to lead the Cowboys to victory.
Right.
Let's see. Castle threw an interception for a touchdown at the end of the game. And then I believe it was Sam Bradford that made the
one extra play,
one extra key throw to win the game.
He did.
What do you got to say about that, Skip?
Did he say anything today about that? Because I would have brought that up to him.
Stephen A. was giving him a lot of heat.
Good.
About the whole,
Good.
He turns around and says to Stephen A., and this is what Skippy says, I'm proud of myself for hanging in with my commitment to my Dallas Cowboys.
It's the only team that you are committed to. Everything else, every other team, you put the word "my" in front of them, you're not really committed to them. That's the only team you're really committed to.
Who's his most favorite player on that team?
Des Bryant and Tony Romo.
No, the first one.
I don't know because he only follows 2 people on Twitter, and it happens to be Des Bryant and Tony Romo.
But he talks about Tony Romo more than he talks about Des Bryant.
Correct.
Okay, he puts Romo on a pedestal. Acts like Romo's his girlfriend or something. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But you'll soon find out that there is not quite as much allegiance to Romo as you might think.
He's got more allegiance to Tom Brady than he does Romo.
Exactly.
Correct.
And he did make comments about that today.
Yeah, he's got more allegiance to Tom Brady than he does Tony Romo.
Now, after Stephen A. trashed him a little bit more, okay, he says, over the last 6 weeks, I've had to endure watching the Cowboys play good enough to lose. The only team my Cowboys didn't have a chance of winning against
my God,
were the New England Patriots. That's right. Go Patriots.
That's Skippy saying that, right?
That's Skippy saying that. He said, go Patriots.
See, he's a Dallas Cowboy fan, but he's a true Tom Brady fan. And that's the difference. So he's going to abandon the Cowboys now and jump on the Patriots bandwagon because that's what he does. He's a bandwagon bitch. That's what he does.
Oh, wow. That's a size double B, bandwagon bitch.
That's what he does. It's triple B, bandwagon. It should be triple B, bandwagon bitch. Yeah, he is a bandwagon bitch. He is, no doubt about it. And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. New England gets knocked out of the playoffs. No New England, no Dallas. He'll jump on another team's bandwagon because that's what he does. Why?
Well, that's who he is.
He'll jump on another. He'll jump on another bandwagon.
Yes, he will.
Staying loyal to Dallas is a committed act and not a commitment. I like that.
He goes on to say, my Cowboys are just not good enough to win without whom I believe should have been the league MVP last season, my guy, Tony Romo.
Well, guess what? He wasn't. So shut the hell up about that, first of all. Okay? And second of all, you're such a diehard Cowboy fan, your team should be able to win with anybody. If you say they have such great defense, then they should be able to win.
Skippy
With
BS.
any quarterback. If you think they're so good, they should be able to win with anybody. You should be able to quarterback them, and they should be able to win. But they're not. They're really not.
Now, if that doesn't twist your panties enough, here comes the next one.
Hey, Mark.
Even at 2-6, my Dallas Cowboys will still win the second worst division in the NFL.
You're
the
smoking
NFC
dope.
least.
You're smoking dope, okay? Because you don't play the Giants no more. You're done playing Philadelphia, okay? You got what? One game left with Washington?
No, they haven't played. They played 2 against Washington.
You still got 2 games against Washington, and that's it. You know you're going to probably win those 2 games. Big stinking deal. What is that going to give you? 4 wins for the season? That ain't going to win the division when the Giants already have more wins than that.
Well, they got to go to Tampa this week, and I don't know if they can even beat Tampa.
I don't think so either. I almost bet you that Skippy's going to say that they're going to win. My guy, Matt Castle, is going to throw for 4 touchdowns and no interceptions and not get sacked at all against Tampa Bay. Watch.
He says the Cowboys are still in it. They're not out of it.
Get the hell out of it
by any means, by any stretch of the imagination.
All right, sure. Yeah. You think Tony Romo's going to come back and win 7 games in a row? What the hell are you smoking?
Well, he doesn't realize that this is the Cowboys' longest losing streak since Troy Aikman's rookie season in 1989.
Ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
And then they ain't coming back from 2-6. They're not coming back from 2-6, 3-6, 2-7, whatever they wind up being after this week. It doesn't really matter. Because
they're done.
Tony Romo is not running any tables unless he goes to Vegas or Atlantic City.
Even if they end up 8-8, it ain't enough to win that division now.
No, it's not. I don't think it's even enough to make a wild card at this point.
So you might as well just kiss the playoffs goodbye.
Yep. Now, they had a little segment today on Second Take called Mollywood. Where
Shocker goes, if they had won, they would have simply been tied for last place. Now they're all alone in last place. In fact, I really wanted Dallas to win that game because it would have helped out the Cowboys with Philadelphia. But I picked Philly. Hey, Robert. You know what I mean? I picked Philly instead. But I really wanted Dallas.
Hey, Robert, what's up, my friend?
Because it would have been better. Buddy? Would have been better for the Giants if Dallas won.
Well, from a standings standpoint, yeah. I mean, but there, you know what? It doesn't matter if it was better or not. I can't reconcile myself with wanting the Cowboys to do anything positive.
Brett gives us the next 6 games for Dallas. They got Tampa, Dolphins, Panthers, Skins, Packers, Jets. Okay, Tampa, win. Dolphins, probably a win. Panthers, loss. Jets, win.
I see maybe 3-3.
Packers, loss. Jets, loss.
I say 3-3 maybe in that's so that would make them 5-11, right?
Yes. Can't win that division that way. There's no way.
Actually, if they win this week, then they would finish 6-10.
They can't win the division that way.
Yeah, they're not going to win nothing.
No. They'll get out of last place. Hey, review guy. They'll get out of last place, but that's about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll put Washington in last place, but they'll be second to last place.
Well, shouldn't Washington be in last place? Come on, really? Didn't we discuss that?
Yeah.
Robert wants in.
I'm letting him in. Gotta let Mr. Robert.
Hey,
Whoa. You just said when they play the Jets, they'll win the game.
I did.
Dallas is not going to beat the Jets.
No, I said the Jets will win.
Oh, no. I took it as you were saying the team and if they would win or not.
No, I said Jet. Okay.
Hey, Robert, count on one thing. Count on one thing. Jeff will. Hell will have to freeze over before Jeff makes a conscious pick of the Dallas Cowboys.
Correct.
I know, because I'm sitting there going, "There's no way Dallas can beat the Jets."
The only time I picked the Cowboys.
I think you're still suffering from that smog out there in LA.
No. I stayed in the hotel most of the day today, so I got.
The only time I pick the Cowboys, probably most likely, is when they're playing Jacksonville. Otherwise, I never pick the Cowboys.
But if Philadelphia was on the Giants' heels and they were playing the Dallas again, you'd pick Dallas so that this way they could take Philadelphia out of the race.
Well, I was kind of hoping. See, I still picked Philly last night, but I really wanted Dallas to win.
Mm-hmm.
See, I got my pick
because there's just no way that Dallas can beat the Jets right now.
No, and there's no way that the Dallas Cowboys are going to even get sniffing the playoffs the way Skip Bayless says.
I don't even think that Dallas can beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now next week.
Yes, Michael, I picked Denver, but then again, so did a lot of people.
Yeah,
everybody picked Denver.
Don't go on me with the Denver pick. I almost picked San Francisco.
That was the trap of the week.
Well, of course you didn't pick Denver. You picked Indianapolis. You're the chef for Indy. Of course you would pick Indy.
So now that Carolina beat Green Bay, Jeff.
Yes.
Are we in agreement that Carolina is a much better team than people are saying about them?
Yes. Yes.
I was saying that before my pick yesterday.
I agree.
Elliot?
Not all of us picked Carolina in that game.
Actually, I was the only one who picked Carolina that day.
Right now, Carolina is primed to go far.
Yeah.
They just need to make sure they secure that home field advantage.
I know.
And if they do that, then you can see I can see Carolina making it to the Super Bowl.
I mean, everybody was giving me a hard time when I picked that Carolina, and I said, guys, you don't understand. Carolina's the team to beat in the NFC right now.
Well, yeah, they
knocked out Seattle. They knocked down on Green Bay.
But you know we find it hard to listen to you, Robert. You're in last place, dude.
Yeah, here we go again. Here we go. And, once in a while, a guy in last place actually has something to say. The problem is you just don't know which one to believe because there's so many bad ones.
Exactly.
Right. See,
especially when you throw all those crazy picks out there.
See, Michael's right. They run out of gas too soon as a whole team, Carolina.
Yeah, I noticed that, and especially when watching the last two games against Indianapolis and Green Bay, is that come fourth quarter, either that defense is too lax or they're gassed. Because they let teams right back in the game.
So the question comes up. There's only 2 undefeated teams left.
No, there's not. There's 3. Bengals.
Okay. So
Carolina.
Bengals, Patriots, Panthers.
Well,
Which
yesterday
one loses last?
Hey, yesterday Gerald swore that Denver was the best. He kind of shoved it down all our throats that Denver was by far the best of the undefeated teams left.
Yeah, I know.
See how that worked out.
Yeah, we'll see how that worked out.
So between the Pats, Cincy, and Carolina, who do you think's going to lose next?
I'd like to see it be New England because they're playing the Giants this week.
I think the Giants have a shot.
I think the Giants can beat New England this week.
They've done it every time.
Yeah, so I like to see that. So with that being said, it's going to come down to Cincinnati and Carolina.
Had to look at their schedules. Hang on.
And Cincinnati took care of Pittsburgh pretty easily.
Right. It's right. And if I remember correctly, they still have another game with Pittsburgh and another game with Cleveland.
Yeah, no, but they're Cincinnati's a team to be reckoned with. I mean, wouldn't it be kind of ironic that it would boil down to like Cincinnati versus Carolina in the Super Bowl?
Cincinnati, that'd be. I don't know if the NFL would like that.
So here's Cincinnati's remaining games.
Yeah, New England plays the Jets again December 27th in MetLife Stadium.
That's last game of the year, right?
Here's the remaining games for the Bengals. They're going to play the Texans. That's a win.
Right.
Then they go to Arizona.
That's the tough one we said yesterday that we don't know if they could do or not.
Yeah. So if they can do it in Arizona, then they got the Rams, the Browns, and the Steelers.
Wow.
If they can get past Arizona, they got a shot.
Right.
Now go to the Patriots. Patriots have
you mean Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
Patriots have 2 hurdles. They have the Giants, then the Jets.
Okay, so Carolina has okay, Titans next.
Yeah, that's a win.
They're in Tennessee. Then they got the Redskins.
That's a win.
Then they're playing the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
That's a win.
Should be a win.
In Dallas.
Right.
Rome will be back then.
Yes.
Then they visit the Saints.
That could be the problem game. Where is
You
Then
never
they host the.
Where's
because
the
you
game?
don't know which.
Where's the game?
Where's the
It's
Saints
in New
team?
Orleans.
It's in New
It's
Orleans.
in New Orleans. That could be the game.
Yeah, but you don't know which Saints team is going to show up.
It's still in New Orleans, and how good is New Orleans at home?
They just lost at
Yeah,
home.
and New Orleans played them tight in the first game. They only lost by 5 points.
And New Orleans just lost at home to Tennessee.
I know.
Yeah, but that's 4 weeks from now.
All right, who's after New Orleans?
They host the Falcons, who just lost to Blaine Gabbert and the 49ers.
Yeah, well, the Falcons have their own issues right now. They just lost, 3 in a row?
Yeah, I think the Falcons need to trade for Blake Bortles.
Oh, jeez. Where's Morgan?
He was in here earlier. I said the same thing to him.
Then in week 15, they go to the New York Giants.
That could be another game. That could be a problem.
Right. Hey, Steve.
Then the Falcons, they visit the Falcons the following
Again.
week.
Right.
That's interesting.
And
That
then-
both Atlanta's games were like the last 3 weeks of the year.
Yeah, I bet you the NFL did that for a reason, thinking that those two would be fighting it out.
And then they wrap it up with the Buccaneers.
It's the Giant game and the
Saints
Saint game. That's going to be the two issues for them.
By looking at the schedules, I would say that the odds-on favorite to lose last is Carolina.
By the way, their schedule is. Right.
By the way, the schedules are laid out right
Patriots
now.
have the Giants this week, and then in 2 weeks, Cincinnati has.
Denver.
Yeah, but in 2 weeks, Cincinnati has Arizona in Arizona.
In Arizona.
Right.
That's gonna
Yeah,
be
but if
towards the end of the
Cincy
season,
gets
right.
by Arizona, they have the easiest ride to do it.
yeah.
Because the Patriots, even if they get by the Giants, they still got to come back and play the Jets, and the Jets are going to be
Right.
fired up for that game.
Right. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Michael. He says, you guys are giving the Giants too much respect. You know why? Because the last 3 times that the Giants played New England, they beat them all 3 times.
And
that's
in
why.
fact, New England was undefeated from the playoffs and the season, and the Giants
Right.
rolled in and beat them at the Super Bowl.
That's why we're doing it. That's the only
They
reason why.
ruined that season. Oh, here we go with the
Correct.
cheaters again from Melanie.
They're those cheaters.
Melanie, you following me?
That's okay. Hey, Melanie. Welcome to Sports World Radio. We do this every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live in the Central, figure it out for yourself because I don't know what time it is.
Okay, and to wrap it up for the evening, let's go ahead and check out the
Game
Monday
tonight.
Night Football game between the Chicago Bears and the San Diego Chargers, which is on ESPN at 8:30 p.m.
Which is only 5:30 here. So they'll play in the light into the dark.
Yep.
That's right. And you want to know something? 7 o'clock this morning, that parking lot opened up. There's
What, the Qualcomm?
Yeah, Qualcomm. And the people getting hammered already, man. They were showing it on Channel 5 News at 10 o'clock this morning. People are getting hammered already. They opened that parking lot
Tailgating
at
right from the
7
start,
a.m.
right?
Yeah. 7 and the game's not till 5:30, and they're there at 7 a.m.? Come on,
Who's playing hooky from work?
everybody. There's no work going on here in San Diego on Monday right now.
Well, there must be a lot of Bears fans in San Diego
I'm sure there's a lot of Bears fans.
because the
in San
Bears
Diego.
have a good following around the country.
It's going to be an
Yeah,
interesting game.
I have ESPN right now. They're showing the Bears right now in the stadium. Looks like they got the lights on in the stadium already because it just finished raining here in San Diego. Has it rained up there in LA?
No, it hasn't rained. It was very cloudy this morning. The sun came out late afternoon, but it's starting to look like a little dark right now. So
Yeah, it's getting really dark around here, and I was sitting in the studio before the show started. I was talking with Elliot, and all of a sudden I hear the rain hitting the studio ceiling. I said, "Uh-oh!" I had to run in the house to get my shoes because I didn't have my shoes in the studio.
I have
it
yet
was
to see him
pouring.
move that fast since I met the man.
I like what Melanie just said. She can't, she likes to bug me, but she can't be in a sports lab because she's a Redskins fan. Boo.
We just finished talking about the
We already
Redskins.
talked about the Redskins. Don't worry.
She doesn't want to talk about
We're
it,
done beating up on
obviously.
them.
Yes, we talked
We're
about
done
the
beating
Redskins.
up on the Redskins.
That's right. No, we
We should
said
hook her up with
somebody-
Gerald.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Come in on our Pick'em show. You can collaborate with Gerald on his pick.
Gerald's hiding from me right now.
Gerald is.
You're correct, Melanie. You're correct. It's not as bad as the Cowboys. Absolutely correct.
So who do you guys pick again for tonight? I got Jeff, I don't have to ask you.
Yeah.
Elliot, I forgot who you picked.
San Diego.
Who?
San Diego.
Yeah, I think we all did, actually.
Yeah, everybody went Chargers tonight.
They've lost 4 in a row.
Well, and it comes down to Jeremy Langford is going to be playing tonight, but it's the guy that he's playing for that Chicago has to miss the most, and that's Matt Forte.
Well, and on the other side of the ball, Phillip Rivers doesn't have Keenan Allen no more.
No, but he still has a few wide receivers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Allen was his number 1 guy.
That running game without Forte.
In August.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
I called it in August that Allen would be the number 1 receiver. And everybody was no. I called it.
Guess what, Robert? He ain't going to finish number 1.
I understand that, but he had a hell of a ride.
Yeah, I'll tell you something now. You're going to see him throwing the ball to Gates an awful lot.
Yeah.
They're going to have to. Gates. You know what? I believe that they're going to be throwing the ball to Gates and Ladarius Green a lot.
Correct.
Because those 2 tight ends can catch a football, and people are going to gravitate to Gates more than Green. It's all going to depend on what Danny Woodhead
Watch out for that little dude Woodhead, man.
Yeah, Woodhead can score.
Woodhead's not bad.
You know what? He's so small. He gets behind some big guys. You can't see him.
Look, all they got right now is Danny Woodhead and Melvin Gordon because Oliver went on the IR.
Malcolm Floyd, you better catch some good passes tonight.
You got Floyd. You got Stevie Johnson. You got that guy Inman. They've got some weapons out there.
Yeah, they're showing Floyd right now. You better catch some passes tonight.
Do you think Phillip Rivers throws for 350 or more or less?
I don't know what the Bears' defense is like.
Nobody knows week to week.
I don't know what the defense is like, and you never know what their offense is going to do either. That's the problem.
But you know that Rivers is going to be slinging the ball all night because he doesn't really have a potent running game.
Well, if Morgan ever gets started, then they'll be running.
And even with the running game, they're going to be throwing because they'll probably be throwing dump passes to Woodhead in the flat.
Yeah, if they're smart, they do a lot of play action pass.
Yeah,
all right, guys, I got to get going. I got to get dinner before podcast at 7:30.
All right, buddy. Thanks for hopping on in.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Take care, buddy.
Got it. There goes our good friend Robert C. Stern. And you know what? That's our time, too. We're sitting up here at the 5 o'clock hour. That's our time. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I also want to give everybody a quick reminder. On tomorrow's show, we're going to have Greg Bell of the New Tribune up there in Seattle talking Seattle Seahawks football on the show. Wednesday, we got John Marks on talking Eagles. Thursday, we got Jacob Klinger on talking Steelers football. And Friday, we got Kevin Duffy on talking Patriots football. So join us all for the rest of the week. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Sports World Radio. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. Peace out, everybody. For Big E, Elliot Lamba, Robert Stern, Morgan J. Freeman, I'm Jeff Escow. This has been Sports World Radio.
Peace out, bitches.
Enjoy the football games tonight, guys.
Looking for the inside track on everything sports? Thanks for listening to Sports World Radio with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Elliot Big E Lamba. Online at sportsworldradio.com. Sports World Radio, the equal opportunity ripper. We'll catch you next time.